In this demonstration we're going to show how we can make pendants using some of the component library jewellery items, settings, findings, bail arms, etc. Okay, we're going to open a project now inside ArtCAM. So first of all we're going to go to component library. We're going to look at the settings option. I'm going to pick a marquee type setting for the first time. So something like this. It's 8 by 4 at the moment. We'll go for 7 by 3 or something like this and import that in. Okay, I just need to scale that now, looking from the side here. I'm going to go into the top assembly. There's the model that we've just imported. I'm going to use the scale option from 4. I'm going to scale that down to 3 and apply. I think I'll go down to the gem itself now and just change the thickness of that. That's scaled down with the model, but I really want that to stay fairly thick, so we'll say 2 millimeters. Let's just slightly move that out of place. I'm just going to nudge that back into place. 0.1. Okay. And now I'm going to position this on the screen. I just need some gnomons so I know where everything is in the real world. And I'm going to use the it's base for a ring at the moment, so I'm going to use the return to the advanced mode and return to the world center. So as soon as I press that, it'll take the whole model down to the base again, down to 0 plane, and I can start working on the 0 plane with this model. Okay, let's look at the assembly folder again. I want to change the color just a little bit more ambient light using the material root assembly renderer. Okay, and now I'm going to just nudge that up. So using the nudge tool again, I'm going to use, say, 5 millimeters up on the red. That's okay. And I'm going to rotate these around at the world center. So if we use the rotation source, copy rotate, I want 6 of these. I'm going to rotate around total at 360 around the blue, which is the Z, and tick the box. Okay, so we've got quite a complex pattern already just by assembling the component findings that we have. I'm going to drop a little center into there, probably a diamond or something, so I'm going to have a look for that in the settings folder again. So if we go to component library, I'm going to look for something 3 claw, that'll be okay. I want that to be around about 2 millimeters wide for the diamond, and again I'm going to return that to its origin point as well. So select the item. I want to go into the nudging positioning item. I'm going to go to return to world center, and let's push that setting directly straight into the middle of the little pendant that we're making now. Okay, I'm just going to scale that slightly. It's sticking up just out of the top of the model at the moment. Let's use the scale option. Scale that down to about 3.2, I think. Apply that. That'll do. Right, I need a jump ring now, or an under bezel for the back, so I'm going to use a jump ring from the primitives for that. So if we go into the assembly folder, look for some primitives, and we'll use probably this little jump ring here. It'll do fine. 3 millimeter, yep. And we'll scale it as we need it. Okay, I'm just going to push that now and just nudge it up, say 0.1 at a time, just into the model. That's perfect. And I'll just change that center setting again. I'll just scale that a little so it sits inside that that little under bezel. So I want it to be about 2.5. That'll do. I just need to nudge that into position now. Okay, I can see now from the little back bezel that's on there is that I need to just scale that down a little bit as well. So I'm going to select that next 3 millimeter jump ring. I'll scale that just in slightly. I think we'll use percentage here, so 99. If you're in doubt, just use the percentage figure. 95. That'll do. So I've remained the Z thickness, but I've just shrunk down the X and Y. Okay, that's pretty much done. I'll just take off the gnomons, and now I'm going to add a bail arm to this now from the primitives also. So we'll just close this down, go into the component library again, bail arm. I'm going to just change these a little, so I want 4, 2 and 3. Apply that. It's a little bit of a smaller pendant. I need to put the gnomon back on again now because I need to know which way this is going to be nudged. So I'm going to rotate it round now the blue so it points up towards the red. About 90 degrees. And then I'm going to nudge that up now. Say 4mm at a time on the red. There we go. Just nudge that into position. As you get closer, we can make finer adjustments here. I'll go for 0.1 this time and just nudge that. I'm using the world nudge at this on the red. Okay. So fairly quickly we can get to a finished pendant without too much work really as well, so I don't have to start from scratch each time. And the more components that you make, the bigger library bigger your library becomes, and you can choose them. You don't have to keep remaking things each time. Okay, well, I think we'll move on to the next project. I'm going to go to settings again, and we'll load in another type of pendant. Put a little pear shape this time. I'm going to use sort of odd size here, so 6.4 or something. I'll do a 6.3 and then a 4.5. So just quite odd shapes. You'll probably have uncalibrated gems that you can use in this way that won't be regular sizes. Okay, I'm just going to return to world center, so it's down on the base again now on the 0 plane. I've just selected it, and now I'm going to do a scaling option here. So we'll pick this option here, go for scale to about 4mm, and apply. Let's have a closer look at this model. Yep, that looks okay, that's good. I'm just going to make sure the gem's a little bit deeper. So it's gone 1.7 at the moment, I'm going to make that to 2mm. Sometimes for depth of field you need to increase these gems if you shrink the mount at all. Okay, sometimes when the design starts to be a bit strange, just use the top left hand corner isometric view just to put everything in line. Okay, back to component library. We're going to pick some primitives here, probably a bail arm first of all. I want this to be around about 4mm, so try 5, 3 and about 3 for the thickness as well. The loop's coming to the side at the moment. I'm just going to rotate that around 90 degrees. Okay, and I'm going to nudge that up into position now. So I'm going to nudge it into the centre of the pendant first of all, and then I'm going to use the red option, say 2mm at a time, using the red here on the world centre, and just nudge that up into place. Again, you can use the finer detail, finer steps, just for the last little nudge. Okay, so simple pendant with a bail arm is really easy. You can show people, your customers, what they're going to get straight away. And you can also change the colour of this item here as well. So if you go into the assembly folder at the top of the screen here, I'm going to pick the gem itself. I'm going to use the positioning. I'm going to go for information this time. Okay, so edit colour, and then you can pick any colour you want really. So we can change to an amethyst very quickly. You can change to edit the colour again, or change to an emerald, or a peridot, that looks more like really. But you can also change to your own colours as well. So if we want to go back into the information folder and edit, I want to change now to an aqua, or we can use the custom colour here, and you can drag the colour on that you want. So say if you've got an eye light or something like this, just drag these down here, get to roughly the colour that you're comparing the stone, roughly an eye-like colour, I would say, and say OK to that, and then it'll add it to the screen. So quite versatile, really, simple to do. Okay, we're going to add some extra components now to this to make it with some diamonds on. So I'm going to add a little Tiffany claw, say 2mm by 5mm deep. I need to return that now to, in the positioning mode, I want to return it with the advanced to return to world center, so it puts it straight down the Z. And then I'm going to start positioning, moving this around now with the nudge tools. So I want it to go somewhere near the bail arm. I'm going to have a couple of diamonds. I'll just start with a single stone first of all, right at the top. So position it in place, just need to shorten that claw. So I'm going to go into the scale option. So scale, it's 5mm at the moment, 2 should be enough. A quick look at that. I just need to nudge it up into position. So using the nudge tools, that's too high, say 1mm, nudge it back down again, okay. Probably just a little bit, nudge it just a little bit higher. So 0.1 at a time, just clear of that claw. And I'll just go to the scale option again. I'm going to scale that, it's 2 at the moment, I want 2.5, and then I'll just nudge that, push that back down again with the nudge options. Okay, we just need to change the colour now so it matches the gold colour that's on the pendant already. Okay, so that matches too as well. So a single stone with a single diamond with a coloured stone and a bail arm, fairly quite simple. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is to sort of move those diamonds around there, so you can have a couple of diamonds either side the bail arm, using some of the different tools of being able to rotate around the world centre and the component centre. So I'm just going to nudge that now to the left slightly, and then down, and make the whole thing a little bit longer as well. So nudge it down roughly into position first of all. That's okay. And I'm going to use the scale option. It's 2.5 at the moment. Let's try 3. Probably need a bit more fine adjustment. I'm just going to rotate that around now on its component center this time. So pick component center, and we're going to rotate round at about 5 degrees at a time. I want to make it easy for me to rotate this into the pendant from this angle. So that's okay, and I'll rotate on the green itself. So I'm rotating around the component center, just turning that round. And then I'm going to nudge and push that closer to the model. So using the component nudge key, nudge arrow as well. I'm just going to rotate that round so those claws fit a little bit better, and then push that again. I'll rotate a little bit more on the Y first. And 0.1 at a time, so fine movements this time now, just pushing it towards the collet. We'll rotate around the Y a little bit more, a bit further out, and then push it down again, just nudge it into place. Now I'm coming down on the blue, just to nudge it down a bit further. On the Z, and we'll just have a quick look from the top. But I'm going to change this under bezel first, because it's in the wrong place here, so I'm going to make it just a bit deeper, so it's 0.59, 0.6 at the moment. I'll make it 0.7. And I'll just nudge that down just slightly. So you can get to most parts of the pendant and change it as you wish as you go along. You don't have to go from scratch again. Okay, the bottom bezel I'm going to make a little bit thicker, so 0.8, so it stands a chance to survive when we're making it or building it. And I'm just going to deal with the claws now at the top. So we've got 6 at the moment. I only want probably 3 of those, so I'm going to just hide those. It's going to be the simplest way at the moment. Just take away the ones that I don't want. I'm just hiding them so they're still there. I'm just not deleting them. Just need to, that looks a bit odd, so let me just change one of those around. Show that one, and I think we hide the next one, claw one. So we've got a little 3 stone there now, 3 claw rather, holding that single stone. And I'm just going to go back up to the top level and just rotate that round so those claws fit a little bit better. So the nudge tool, we're going to the angle rotation, 1 degree at a time. Probably make that a bit faster, let's go about 4. And that'll do. Okay, I'm ready now, I think, just to mirror that across to the other side so that they've got 2 diamonds with all the claws and settings pushed together. So I'll go to the top level, use the mirror tool this time in components. I'm going to mirror across the blue red and apply. There we go. Okay, if we can change the colour looks a little bit faded out here, so I'm going to go back into the pendant now and change that back to probably a sapphire or something, make it look a bit deeper. That's a better, deeper colour. Okay, you can see how it is possible to quickly assemble items from the component libraries, so findings, different settings, how to change the settings, how to scale them, how to change the colour of the gems, and put them all together in one finished item. We have a couple more demonstrations in the assembler range, one to deal with gemstone rings, another one to deal with signet rings.